And once again, good morning. Welcome to our beautiful spiritual center. And as we open the space, we know that nothing happens by chance, does it? No. We're all here by divine appointment. If you tuned in at this moment, this message is for you. So as we gather today, as the two or three gather together, there is a power, a presence, and an energy here in the midst of us. It's called the synergistic mind of God, where the whole becomes greater than the sum of its parts. So we gather together in this energy field, and something shifts. And through this divine shift, a space is opened, a portal is opened, and we walk through. And what I love about living in Palm Springs is that wherever I am, all over the world, and I come home and I'm on 111 and we're making that curve, and just as we make that curve, it's like a portal opens and the mist absolutely fades and we drive through to the secret place of the Most High, and then the portal closes and we're here in beautiful Palm Springs, where I feel that we are very much insulated. And in this divine insulation, there are so many wonderful nonprofit energies out there that are making a difference. And what I love about our way of life is you give a man bread, you feed him for a day. You teach him how to plant, you feed him for a lifetime. These are universal principles that we are using every single day of our lives. And as we look at the Wizard of Oz and Frank Baum, who was a theosophist, a metaphysician, and that each character in the Wizard of Oz is some part of ourselves, that we are Dorothy scurrying around because someone wants to take our little dog away, who Toto, remember, is the instinctual nature within that does its own thing and creates a portal, a window, that when the cyclone hits, the window comes off the hinges, hits her in the head, and she goes into an altered state of consciousness and sees not the things of this world, but looks out into a whole new energy field. And as she meets her allies, interestingly enough, all the allies that she meets, which is the Scarecrow, which is the Tin Man, which is the Lion, all of these wonderful, and Glenda, her higher power that comes in through a bubble and suddenly appears and says, are you a good witch or are you a bad witch? That energetically we are all accessing those parts of ourselves, our light and our shadow. We access this through our daily life, which is our temple and our religion. Today we're looking at the opportunity of brain power and opening to courage. The Bible states, be of good courage. Be not afraid. Be of good courage, whatever confronts us at any moment in our life. And we've had many confrontations with some pretty scary things in our life. And the minute we confront it, it's really interesting. The minute we confront it, it returns to its native nothingness from whence it came. We have a direct line to God. I love the story about the chief rabbi that went over to Rome, and he visited his good friend the Pope, and he saw a golden telephone on his desk, and he said, is that what I think it is? What is that? He goes, it's a direct line to God. He goes, oh, may I use it? Well, it's very expensive, he told him. How much is it? He says, it's $3,000. And, you know, the rabbi, being the chief rabbi, thought for a moment and said, all right, and paid him the $3,000 and called God and had an amazing conversation and felt really good about it and got his money's worth. A few years later, the Pope had occasion to go to Jerusalem. He went to see his dear friend, the chief rabbi. He sat down and he saw a golden telephone on his desk. He goes, is that what I think it is? He said, yes, that's a direct line to God. He said, may I use it? He said, absolutely. So he has about an hour conversation with God and just, you know, really getting things handled here and feels really good about it, hangs up, and the chief rabbi says, that will be $1.87. He goes, $1.87, my gosh, how can you do that? He goes, from Jerusalem, it's a local call. I mean, this is the Holy Land, right? So where we stand is holy ground. And that as we access and realize that we have a direct line, when the Scarecrow got Dorothy's attention and said, you can go right, you can go left, you can go both ways if you so choose. And she was like stunned. How can you talk and not have a brain? And he said, well, many people talk a lot and don't have brains. I mean, we've all experienced that. And so suddenly he's the ally, and there they are on the yellow brick road, and each brick is an awareness of consciousness, shimmering and going in this amazing spiral, and starts out with a spiral. Remember that life is a spiral. Jesus said, be ye upward bound. In other words, this amazing spiral that we have. And when the moments of disorientation, you remember that every time we make a shift to a higher consciousness, we have felt disoriented. It's like, I don't know what's going on here. And then we make that shift into a new revolution of consciousness, and it's like we've always been there. You know, how could I have ever been there? And we can never go back to the way it was. When it's 6:30 on the evolutionary clock, we can't go back to 6:29. The pull to 12 o'clock, to the energy of divinity is so strong, it becomes involuntary. We cannot go back. Anytime you've made a shift and you feel really good about it and it feels like you're settled into it, we can never go back to the way that it was. We keep on the yellow brick road. We keep on the upward spiral. We keep going higher yet into ever-widening circles of life. Remember what Emerson said, life is a self-evolving circle, imperceptibly small at first, rippling outward toward infinity in ever-widening circles. So just that little pebble that ripples out, and we're told that when a butterfly flaps its wings here in Palm Springs, they can feel it in China. That energetically, it's a vibrational flow, it's a frequency. And that there are times we meet people, we don't vibe at all. There's just no chemistry. There's no frequency. It's really interesting because energetically, there just isn't. It's not good, it's not bad. It just is kind of the way it is. And there are others who think, I feel like I have known you all my life. You just, we just fit. It's a good fit. It's a good vibe. There's a frequency. It's an energy. I get your humor. It's wonderful. It's fabulous. And it's all about energy, as Tesla said. If you want to know the secrets of life, think in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency. And then that way we don't take it personally. And when we start to take things personally, we realize this is not a vibrational match. And what I love about our way of life is the courage to get up every single morning and turn the routines of work into celebrations of life and love. To open the space to allow God to do what God does best by means of us, because we're it. You are as close to God as I am ever going to get. I am as close to God as you are ever going to get. And when I am in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, there truly is only one of us. It's all about God, energy, light, whatever we choose to put on it, it is that divine connection. So when that cowardly lion, interestingly enough, and just, had all this bravado and was going to, be out there and putting it out there that he was so brave, and then he starts crying because he knows he's the cowardly lion and he's afraid of everything in his environment. And they invite him to come along, another ally to go to the Emerald City and meet the Wizard of Oz, because the Wizard of Oz has all the answers for us. And we're off to see the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Da-da, da-da, da-da. And then, interesting, then the experiences of the flying monkeys. I saw a thing on Facebook. It had witch shoes with striped stockings, kind of crossed. And it said, it's been a good day today when I don't have to send out the flying monkeys. It's been a good day. So there are days we send out the flying monkeys, and it's a good day when we don't, right? So energetically, we all have our moments. And so the flying monkeys come, and all of the other creatures, and they what do? They join arms together, and they are allies, and they feel the courage through one another. And when one feels down, the others are there to lift them up and oil those arms on the Tin Man and oil his mouth so he can speak his word. And the oil is an anointing. It's sacred. the sacred oil of life, the energy of life that allows us to be in the world, on the yellow brick road, on the way to the Emerald City, but not of it. And when we get it, that we are here to live, to love, to laugh, to express, that those moments of courage absolutely arise. Remember that I was on the Nobel Peace Prize Commission and in Oslo several times in the last couple of years. And when I sat down with Malala, a young 17-year-old girl who was shot in the head because she wanted an education, and the Taliban shot her in the head, and she said, when they were wheeling me in the hospital, she said, if I live through this one day, I will be the next Prime Minister of Pakistan. And boy, I absolutely believed her. A 17-year-old girl being wheeled in on a gurney and has that thought, you know that we're going to be hearing about this young woman. And to experience that in Oslo, and to experience that energy, and to really know that she's the youngest person that has ever received the Nobel Peace Prize, ever. And that she spoke her word into the law of mind, and that seed is planted because she's off to the Emerald City. She's on the yellow brick road. She knows who she is. She is creating foundations for other young women who simply want an education. And the acts of heroism. In Orlando, I was reading an article about a young man. He said he was in the safety zone, and he was just ready to make a run for it, and he heard, help, help, help. And he said, I was going to be in the line of fire, but I heard someone call out help. I ran. He said, I saw he was shot, in one arm, and then I saw he was shot in the other arm, and then he was shot in the back, and I took my shirt off, and I was tying up where he was shot, and I took his shirt off for the other arm, and the police, we hobbled in, and the police said, get in the police car, and he said, and put your body over his, so that wound in the back will allow him to survive and coalesce that energy. And in the face of it all, there are acts of heroism. And I feel that all of these things on the planet are bubbling up so they can be cleansed, purified, harmonized. Harmonized and purified. Think about it for a moment. That they can be attuned and heightened to a much, much higher energy, because this gets our attention as a whole planet. So that unconditional love and the freedom to love who you want to love, kiss whoever you want to kiss in public, it's not an issue. And you're in, your own domain. That these are the things that we're working on in our society and globally as well. And it's really interesting because when I was in Istanbul, I took RJ as a videographer, and he said his mother was on the phone every other day about Istanbul and, keep the gay thing down because, they behead people for that. So you just got to really be careful. And he's telling me this. I said, RJ, Istanbul is the most cosmopolitan city in the world. There, just let that go. Don't bring that into the experience. And what was so wonderful is that we were out and this great, amazing, it's called the Grand Bazaar. It was a mosque. And it is just huge. It's miles and miles and miles. And I'm hearing the minarets call. It's a call to prayer. It's the minarets. And it's that energy that goes out into the energy field. It is out. I said, feel this spiritual energy. It is fantastic. And I'm just going in. And he wants this scarf. And it's a scarf of many colors. And he says, oh, I really, it's a little much. I said, I'll pay for half of it. You have to have Joseph's scarf. There's a beautiful scarf. It has a biblical feel about it. But listen, feel that energy of the minarets. Call to prayer every hour. It's just fantastic. And I just had such a kinship and a feeling with it. And he said, he comes out and he gets the scarf. He goes, you're out there, it's so beautiful, and it's all in prayer, and the minarets are playing. In the meantime, Omar is inside trying to get me under his tent. And I said, well, heads may roll, but not yours. So I said, the thing truly we're looking for, we're looking with. And all of this ridiculous fear, and also that, well-meaning people in our lives, But we intuitively, if we are at one with ourselves, we know when we're in danger. We know when it's not a good thing. We know intuitively when it is a good thing. My son-in-law resigned from a very high-paying job because they told him he could live wherever he wanted, and they were going to move to Arizona. That's only 3.5 hours from Mom, right? From Palm Springs, and Utah's 14 hours. And so he sent this beautiful letter, high-energy letter. It's been so wonderful working for you. I've loved it. And I just bless this opportunity. However, my family comes first, and I need to relocate to Arizona. And so thank you for a great experience, and my new position will allow me to interact with you. And he got this great new position. They offered it to him. He did not go out seeking it. The thing we're looking for, we're looking with. That which we are seeking is seeking us. And the president of the company called him and said, you are our highest, you're the #1 guy. And he said, it's just really amazing that, I wish I would have known, we could have made an exception, all of these kinds of things. And he said, no, it's just fine, we'll all work together. And then they went to Arizona, and our ministry of prayer was knowing that they were going to find their divine right place at the divine right time, at the divine right price. And they walked in and found the most beautiful home. And they have to rent for now because they're saving for a home. And the realtor who owned the home, she goes, you guys have such good energy. He goes, well, do you want our references, my credit, the last land? Oh no, you've got such good vibes. I don't need any of that. So they paid their deposit and paid everything done. And Larry said, well, I just want to give you our credit reference and the reference from the former landlord and, the things that we've been up to. And she goes, oh, fine, you got really good vibes. I mean, this is amazing to have any person that's doing, a rental say, you've got just such good vibes, take it. So he said, there we are, she's putting new tile in this week. We put it out there, and it comes back to us. And it takes courage to take a stand and to leave something secure, to be off to the Emerald City. It takes courage to confront what we need to confront in our lives. And I love when Indira Gandhi said, if I die today, every drop of my blood will invigorate the nation. And I feel like that about anyone who has sacrificed their life, that has been subject to any of the brutality and the tragedy that we've experienced in our country, that every drop of their blood invigorates the nation and makes us rise up as one for unconditional love, for the all-inclusivity together, no matter what path we take, no matter what religion we are, that there is a oneness of being. We're all on the yellow brick road, and isn't it wonderful that many of us know that we're already in the Emerald City, that the wizard lies within us. And next week we're really going to talk about that wizard within, behind the little curtain that we want to give our power away to, is right where we are. And I absolutely love that. So remember, this week, you start to say, oh, I'm tired. The universe says, yes, you are. You're not only tired, you are fatigued. Now you need to get to lay down, and experience dis-ease. When we say to the universe, I am regenerating, I am rested, and I am recreating my energy flow, the universe says, yes, you are. You're reaching to higher levels of consciousness, and we support you in that. So today, as we come together on our yellow brick road, where are we going? Higher yet. Where? Higher yet. Where? Higher yet. And so it is. The yellow brick road, the Emerald City, right where we are.